Yeah, we are live, Master.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Hello, thank you all for coming. And today is our very first chant class here at Dharma Territory Temple. So we're pleased to have you all here, especially new faces I'm seeing, as well as old familiar faces. Welcome all. It's we are not quite ready to have you yet, so please forgive the construction, the remodeling activities that's going on right now. We're trying our best, so we apologize for the inconveniences because we're not quite ready yet, but we're glad to have you here. I had to rush back from Korea because I went to Korea to do some Dharma propagation. And we went there to teach, to officially proclaim our American Mahayana approach. I've been advocating teaching both Pure Land and Chan practice in parallel for the last 16 years. And so far I've been doing it quietly because I wasn't sure of what to do. I had to figure out what to do because when my Chinese teacher ordered me to teach by saying when I was meditating that his instruction was, you should teach. He didn't give me any further instructions, so I had to figure out what to do. So it took me quite a while. And so I've been quietly experimenting and trying to figure out how to teach Chan and how to teach Pure Land. So now it's official. Actually, the truth of the matter is that I've been busy too. I'm very lazy by nature. And I only do things because I must, not because I want to. So since I have to teach, I've been waiting for the second patriarch, Master YongHua's successor, to announce himself and start teaching. But when time is running out for me, I don't have a lot of time left. I'm Vietnamese, so in our culture, I'm very proud to tell you that we like to retire when it's time to retire. I'm way past retirement age. So I'd like to retire, but it doesn't look like I can for a while because it takes a while to train people. I've seen that to train properly, it takes about at least 10 years. A good foundation requires 10 years and maybe 15 on the average, and maybe sooner for some people. But in order to help save you time, I find myself having to continue to teach so that we can have a bigger foundation, a better foundation for Mahayana throughout the world. So the trip to Korea is to officially proclaim that, to share the fact that we advocate that parallel practice of both Chan and Pure Land. Chan in order to help you improve as soon as possible. Hopefully that many of you will become enlightened. In fact, when I was in Korea, 3 people, one local person in Korea reached 4th stage arhatship, and 2 people back here also reached 4th stage arhatship. For the Chan practice, it's a significant milestones, if you will, reaching 4th stage arhatship, because that's when you have some wisdom, That's when you can begin to be taught better. You begin to absorb better and quicker than otherwise. So it's important milestones. I was very happy about that. And also the fact that even though I was away, people here in the U.S. continued their practices and continue to improve and make me very happy. So anyway, I would like to continue today to report to you some of the things I learned from our Korea trip, if you like. Unless you want me to discuss something else, if you do, feel free to ask questions at any time. Okay. So as I was looking at the photo here, the group photo here that we post at Tungdosa, is one of the nice temples. If you were to go to Korea, I strongly urge you to stop by here. It's in this area here. Wonteksunim, where is it? You know? Which city, which part of where Tungdosa is? Gyeongju, maybe? Gyeongchang, here. Here?
경남 양산입니다.
This one here, below, near Daegu?
예, 그 근처일 겁니다. 저는 가보지 못했어요.
네. Oh, okay. So this area here, Busan is second largest city here, and this area here. How far is Gyeongsan from Busan? Anyone knows? An hour drive, half an hour drive? Yeah. Okay. So if you go to Seoul and you want to have a pilgrimage, the Koreans do that. They go on pilgrimages of the major temples, and Tungdosa is one of the three major temples in Korea. And by tradition, they're known as the Pho, the Buddha temple. And there's two more. Heinsa and Wangjusa, huh? What's the third temple? Sungwangsa, excuse me. I will learn. Give me time. So we stumble upon this temple here, and made me very happy. It's a very good temple. I would encourage you to go for pilgrimage, if you will. This is they have excellent sunims. They call sunims monks over there who are enlightened. I know, so you care about gossiping, who's enlightened, who's not, right? Okay, you find a lot of enlightened people here, a lot. Okay, I was impressed. And they're practicing the Mahayana Dharma practice, that is the Great Assembly practice. They practice together. It's a proof. In Mahayana, the training we give you is actually Great Assembly Dharma practice. You practice together with a lot of people. You don't practice by yourself. Those who practice by themselves are very rare in Mahayana. You only practice by yourself because of special circumstances. But in general, you practice with the Great Assembly, a lot of people. Okay? Like today is called Mahayana practice, Great Assembly practice. And so this is the old abbot. He's retired. He's was an abbot of the temple for 10 years. He retired 3 or 4 years ago. So he's there relaxing. And so we post a group photo here. And I was noticing that our people, this is how relaxed they all look, you see. This is our new people, the juniors, they all relax. Look at him. Yeah. When you have a big temple, they have like close to 200 branches. locations, buildings, and if you zoom in, can we zoom in here? Yeah, he's has a. You can tell that he has a lot of worries, whereas the rest of us, we're so carefree like tourists. Well, anyway, please go there. It's a fun experience. To me, I was very happy to find such nice temples, such important temples in Korea that help reassure me that that Korean Buddhism is very strong, very, very healthy. Okay, it has some weaknesses, but it's still pretty strong, and it's a good anchor in Asia for Buddhism, and we're very proud to be able to be part of that. Okay, among other things, we. Even though they're strong, like here as well. Here we also have. I'm very proud to tell you, we have even stronger monks and nuns than the Koreans. We have stronger monks and nuns than the Chinese, as far as I know. Even though our Weiyang Chan, our Weiyang Chan lineage is Chinese, came from China through Master Xinhua. But our generations, we are even stronger than his peers in China. His disciples, Master Xinhua disciples, as far as I know, used to be stronger. I don't know where they are anymore. I lost track of them. I don't care. Okay, what they do. Anyway, so even though he's retired, and he on the surface. Casual, he's very casual. His demeanor, his talk and so forth, he's very casual, very relaxed. But when he poses for photo, and look at this, and being encircled by us, see how more relaxed we are. Okay, so that's how we in a China world measure ourselves. When you face to face, who's more relaxed? When you're more relaxed, meaning you a lot more nimble, a lot faster in your responses. Does it make sense to you? Like when you're boxing, you think it's tension here? No, at all. It's very relaxed. This is how you react. You react a lot faster when you're relaxed. Or when you're driving, remember? You go like this. Then you're very slow reacting, yes? Yeah. When you relax your arm, that's when you're a lot faster. Anyway, yeah. So it's cool to see how of all our group, okay, Master Z is, of course, is always preoccupied, always have something to do, and then his assistant baby here, our youngest one, okay, she's still trying to figure out where she's at and what she's supposed to do. So, too much thinking. Look at this face. Huh? What am I to do? Anyway, yeah. So, and then when we went to Dongguk University, the Korean Buddhist university there in Seoul. We went back to Seoul, and this is the oldest temple, one of the oldest temples, original building in Seoul, part of the Dongguk University, and it used to be a palace. So it still has the stuff, the decoration, ornaments that belong to palaces. And we were for some reason this time, we were treated royally, and they prepared a presentation. So the Dongguk University welcomes me here, my photo here, and they have the nun here. Where is she? Is she? Yeah, this is nun here, a celebrity over there. She has her own TV show, her own TV station. Part owner of a TV station. She's been doing it for 17 years. And some professors here, who is department of the Buddhism, Buddhism, and some big shots. Actually, pretty important people. I was surprised that we were extended that kind of courtesy from these important people. I'm always impressed by how the Chinese, the Asian temples, the adornment, they're just so adorned. There's so much money that went into this to help inspire faith in our devotees. Okay, and it has advantages. When you walk in there, you're so impressed. You say, "Wow, this is so adorned." Yeah, it's so impressive. However, it also has the disadvantages of spending too many resources on things, on ornaments, instead of investing in the training and the education of our generation, of our future generations. Apparently, this is one of the royal insignia, dragons or something like that. And this is the original sign for the palace, I believe. Okay, and the gentleman who is actually a student of Master Xianan is one of the big shots at Dongguk University. So he gave us special access. He gave us access that even the nun, one of the nuns who worked there, who gave the presentation to us, she said she's been there for 4 or 5 years, got her PhD there. Didn't have access to it until we came. And we have access to the Shrangma Sutra. This is one of the oldest copy, original copy, made in the 12th or 13th century. Very rare. So the government gave them the special money, so they built special buildings, special stuff to preserve and protect this national treasure, if you will. We were able to be there, and we even allowed to take photos. We were given a lot of liberties, if you will. And then that's a small room for very, very rare. And this is another room where they have 35,000 also very old documents, among which is the Avatamsaka Sutra, old copies. And we pose a group photo here at that university. And then we went to, I was interviewed by a gentleman here. This man here has been with this TV and radio station. Are they, do you know, they're pretty big, like the biggest or something in Korea. So he interviewed me. He's there for 32 years. I mean, he's been there since the founding of the radio station, and then they brought him into TV as well. And so he interviewed us, talked about, I forgot what he wanted to know, but it was a rather interesting interview. And then we were invited by this nun here, Sanjay Sunim. She's very famous. She's a great cook. She is known for the Korean temple food. The Korean vegetarian food is called temple food. So special food they serve at the temples, and she's very famous. She's well known. She goes around Korea to teach the people, whether it's nuns or lay people, to how to cook the Korean version of the temple food, vegetarian food. And this photo here, so she heard about us And so she invited us over because it's last minute, so she had to rush back from her interview somewhere. And so within an hour, she said, she apologized, said, this is short notice, so I only have 1 hour to whip up something for you. Yeah, and so she gave us this special kimchi. It's made in the springtime only with spring vegetables, which is delicious. But also, I don't know if you see it, this is the kimchi soup. It is the best kimchi I've ever tasted. It is so excellent. Okay. And we really picked out. It's her own temple. Her own house and her own altar right here. Yeah. And we back to Seoul again, and we went to Wanrunsa, maybe? Wanrunsa, okay. And met with one of the disciples, Master YongHua. Master YongHua is a very well-known Korean Pure Land Sunim. He's a second ground bodhisattva. People in Korea, most people didn't realize that, maybe except for the monks and nuns in Tungdosa. Tungdosa people are a little bit higher than second stage, second ground. And so he's a disciple, devoted disciple of Master YongHua, and I liked him a lot. When I first met him 3-4 years ago, I was impressed by his sincerity and his heart. He has a very, very big heart, and I was worried actually that he worked too hard and he didn't have the proper guidance, because otherwise he'll be stuck. He's a very, very good man, and has very sincere, very great aspirations as a monk. But 4 years later, I heard that he changed jobs and so forth. I met him again, I realized he improved, so it made me very, very happy. And he was very happy to see me too. And so we had tea together. Koreans drink a lot of tea. And this is their patriarch altar. And this is Master YongHua, his direct teacher there. This is Master YongHua's teacher. And so this area here is reserved only for dignitaries and big shots. So he gave us access to it and to use a restroom there. Okay, and then this is while people waiting to speak Dharma to them. The typical Korean temple, the Buddha hall is not that big. Buddha hall overall is about the same size as this, but half of it, well, most of it is decorations things. So it's very little room for people to gather. So that's why this is the typical the Korean temples have a lot of small buildings dedicated for different worships, like Pure Land practice, Earth Store Bodhisattva, Wan Yin, and main Buddha hall, and so forth. They're all about similar size, pretty small like this, or even smaller. So that tells you that the Koreans, they are not that strong in great assembly practice. That's why the only place I saw that is good at that is Tungdosa. That's why I was very, very pleased. So you see, it's so adorned as compared to our temples. Okay. And it's so weird. They all made me sit in this Dharma seat here, and then they all bowed. I said, what are you doing? Anyway, spoke Dharma, and people were listening outside here in the courtyard as well. And this photo is for my groupies. They follow me everywhere in Seoul or okay, and Busan and so forth. Beautiful, beautiful Buddha Hall. And then there is a lantern festival where the participants, the temples, each temple send their own parade team. So every year they have this, and they couldn't organize one for the last 2 years, so finally was able to do it again. So we went there. We asked to participate, but we couldn't. Okay, we're too small anyway. So each temple have their own team. They prepare for a long time for that. So there are lots of Korean temples. There's one Vietnamese temple there who also participated, and I think Sri Lankan temple and so forth. Lots of temples. And after that, we went to have tea. Okay, we had tea everywhere we were. Okay, and I believe ice cream for baby and baby senior. This is 25 years old. Can you imagine? It's pretty young to be a nun at 25 years old. And this one here is, how old is Xianfa? 32, maybe? Less than 40, absolutely. And so this lantern festival for Vesak. It's fun. We made a lot of noises. We are probably the loudest group. I say, America, Buddhism. The government gave the temple a little bit of money to support the activities, but the temple did this on their own, and they're very proud of it. I think it's a great tradition. Look at this. You see these loud Americans? Did you hear? Can you hear them? That's us. I think of this is on the street, on one of the major streets in Korea, and we are, I think, the only loudest people, the loudest people on the streets. Koreans are, in general and culturally, they're very polite, very quiet, demure, if you will. So it's very American. And that sounds like Soju Sunim. She had too much to drink or something. Okay. And that's us. And what's this? Huh? Neapolitan pizza, not Neapolitan pizza. Korean spelling, Chinese spelling. Neapolitan pizza. So this we went to supposedly one of the better Neapolitan pizza joints to eat, and it's not bad. Look at how good it is. I found out so far in San Francisco, where we are right now, not that good. Neapolitan pizza. I hope to find some real good ones locally. Okay, and these are the various temples here. Korean Sunims, you like to see anything we want to know, we need to know? Oh. And we came to a new temple, the Abbot Chunggang Sunim, who used to be the abbot at our Jewel Conch. So he went to this bigger temple, and so he yielded Jewel Conch to us. And so because he's opening his new temple, he asked me to come over and help open this new artwork. This is of the guiding Inlu Bodhisattva carving. They asked me to sit there and during the ceremony and to certify it. Can you imagine me certifying? It's weird. And this is their temple. See, everything temple. They're all very adorned. They Wong Chungsa. And talk to them about Pure Land. This is the artist who carved it. That thing. And a lot of people came. Inlu is a guiding, the guiding Pusa, Bodhisattva. So that I learned there. What I learned there is that in Pure Land, we've been focusing here in the U.S. on what I call the back end, on how to get to the Pure Land. Whereas there's also a concept how the living beings are led to us, okay, so that we can take care of helping them to go to the Pure Land. Okay, that's what temples are supposed to do. But also the Inlu Wang, the guiding Bodhisattva, somehow to manage to guide the living beings to come and join us, if you will. Okay, so unless they get to us. So Inlu is that, so they led living beings to the temple, to us, so that we can use the Pure Land Dharma door to help bring them to the Pure Land, if you will. So it's two parts in Pure Land practice. You have the back end, like what temples do, like what we do, and then the front end where somehow the Bodhisattvas help to lead them to those, if you will, Pure Land stations. And so that's why it's an eye-opening experience for me. I knew about that, but I didn't realize there's some bodhisattvas in the Chinese Buddhism as well, Korean Buddhism, who actually are doing that. And this is that abbot right there. We're on. Okay, and then before I left Korea, I decided to hold of 1 week of Fochi there, which we are about to do here today as well. We'll begin after this morning's talk. In the afternoon, we start our summer Qis. We do 1 week of Fochi here, and followed by 3 weeks of Chan Qi. So that's why some of you are here to participate in that. So actually, it was a lot of people made reservations to come to Jewel Mountain Temple and look at our temple versus the Korean temples. So the Korean disciples kind of were laughing at us. Are you for real temple? Are you really Buddhists, monks and nuns? How come your temple looks like an office? So actually, a good number met us 4 years ago and kept on coming back because they have the answers to their questions, and new ones as well. New ones and young ones and old and so forth. So there's And this looked like it's the great transference, I think. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is when we do the great transference at night. That's what we have for decorations. One drawing here, two drawings, and three drawings. The kitchen at Jewel Mountain Temple, you see a lot of helpers. These people are very experienced, by the way. So they jump into the kitchen is because they're very experienced. 1, 2, 3, 8 people here, and you can see in the photos there's a lot of people. And this is our food. Yeah, just 3 of us to finish. There's a person who handles special, person who handles drinks, a person who handles frying and so forth. So I'm told that this is the watermelon drink, and this is the heart of watermelon. So they taste better. It's more tasty this way, and because the side of the watermelon is not that good, so you turn that into a drink. The Koreans are very fussy. So fussy about their food. We ate so well, trust me. And this is spring vegetables. So they eat things by seasons, and the mountain is the mountain potatoes. Okay, medicinal values, very highly prized, and as you see, very few oily or frying stuff. All natural, very lean. And that's why, even though we picked out, we didn't gain much weight. But look how happy Saw Jusinim is. Yeah. He said, "Oh, finally, real food." And this is the TV show that the nun, I forgot his name, and I got some made up. They painted my face, the first half, the front half. And then we have our Vesak, the final day of the Fochi, the Vesak, so we had our small celebration. And so people lined up, and we have three celebrations in San Jose, in Los Angeles, in Seoul, in Cheongju, in Korea. And so at that day, we have simultaneous celebration. The kids, we let them play around, goof off. You notice they're all in full lotus. Even the girl here on the floor must be also in full lotus. And this is a final photo for posing. I don't think these people showed up at the 4G, maybe on the last day only. But it's quite a few people posed. Young people, old people, you see that? In Korea, it's very rare for the old established temples to find young people anymore. They don't come to the temple. They go to the churches. The refuge ceremony after the Vesak, and we're done. Then when a good number of people took refuge. Yeah. And then after we all done, then we went to make new friends. Okay. And this monk here is very enamored with Taiwanese Buddhism. So he gave us a Taiwanese tea. He says, no Korean tea, only Taiwanese tea at my temple. So it's very, very good Taiwanese tea. Okay. He talked, and he said it's kind of short notice, but next time around, he'd like to have us come back and give Dharma talks over there. He's my groupie. Yes. Okay. And then we went to have lunch with another monk at another temples in a restaurant. And this is Sunim, who helping us with Jewel Mountain, with the visa stuff. And then a publisher also wanted to publish my sutras. So he told his photographer to come over and take photos. And so this is Mr. Kim, the publisher. This is Xianan's publisher. Xianan's book was very popular in Korea. And he came, he said, okay, I'd like to do your sutras. I said, which one? He says, we quit teaching sutras. And after a while, he asked them for them all. And then there's more interviews of Bu Wang, who is one of the biggest publishers, right? What's Bu Wang Saoju's name? Yes? Popular what? Oh, but one of the biggest and popular publishers in Buddhism in Korea. So this young man here has been at it, doing it for 20 years. He looked young, but he actually is very, very smart, asks very good questions. What's this? Oh, the meals. Okay, I thought in closing out, I show you some photos of the Korean culture. To me, food is an important part of the culture. So I'm always fascinated by what people eat and how good the food is. So you see, here's ginseng right here, fried ginseng. Renshen, yeah. The lotus root and so forth. This is spring vegetables. They fry it. Okay, and that's each one have their own sauce. They look fancy, and this is the porridge where they use pine nuts to make it. This is a tourist spot. A restaurant here, they charge you like I don't know, $55 or how much? I don't remember. Where it's really popular with the tourists. So we given like a 12-course lunch. Pretty impressive. Spring vegetables. This array is only spring vegetables. So it's Temple Food Restaurant in Gyeongju City. That's near Busan. And there's a matcha. Oh yeah, we went to a matcha tea place because he's by invitation only. This is they have several floors, a few floors, and this floor here is reserved for special invitation, and you need to be su to get invited. They don't just allow anyone in. Okay, and so he served matcha, and so they give to drink here. What you do is they make a special matcha here for them. So the owners does it because she enjoys doing it. She has too much money; she doesn't care. So this is like a passion, a hobby for her, and it's cool. This is thing you eat this and and then you drink with the matcha. It's very, very nice. And then at the Busan beach, they have these sand artwork. And then I like this place too. It's a special vegetarian restaurant. They have a colony set up by lay people to practice, I think, Buddhism. Is it Buddhism or vegetarianism? Something. But the food is very, very good. Look at all this vegetarian. So this is special vegetarian food. It's kosher and so forth. So it can accommodate a lot of different people's strict meal requirements. And then, coffee. The Koreans are now crazy about coffee. Okay? The coffee shops everywhere. Okay, it's not that bad, doctor. It's not really that bad. She's crying now. So serious. It's not that bad. So the coffee is excellent, and I love the ice cream, yogurt ice cream. It's just very good. And why is it here? We're driving around in Seoul. And I chuckled because it took me to get to Seoul before I could find a red car. So look at how happy all the Koreans are. We had such a great trip. And we enjoyed it. Actually, our people improved. Even in 5 weeks' time, our Sangha improved as well. And we learn a lot. Lay people improved as well. Any questions or comments? Did I miss anything, Sunim, that I should have said? Yes, go ahead. Could you use a phone, please, so that the people on the internet can hear you too?
Okay.
5.
My name is Dongsheng, but my
Hello.
English is not very good. Can I use Chinese? 我的名字叫东胜，我是第一次来，然后能够感觉到不同的能量场也非常殊胜。所以首先感谢Master。我的问题是刚才师父谈到就是在那个大法会的时候有很多 enlightened 就是开悟的人。那我的第一个问题是，就是两个开悟的人相互之间遇到的话，他们能够知道彼此是开悟的吗？然后还有一个问题是，就是开悟的人的话，他是不是从内心从里到外的话，都是非常的放松的状态，无论他是在说话、做事，还是干什么，他们的就是开悟的人的最大的特点是什么？谢谢。
Translate.
Yeah, translate, please,
Okay.
for everyone.
Dongsen said, my name is Dongsen, and I'm a Chinese and living in Canada. This is the first time I came to your temple. I'm very impressed by how adorned your way place is. And now I have two questions. And when you mentioned, and during the Great Assembly, there are many people attend and people get enlightened. So my first question is, when two enlightened people, they meet, and do they know each other they are enlightened? And the second question is that true, the enlightened people, they are more relaxed? 是不是还有一点
What's the biggest characteristic? I think he's just asking that is enlightened people relaxed, and what is the biggest characteristic of the state of the enlightened people?
Well, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for coming. The question is, do enlightened people recognize each other? Yes, they do. They can. Because what happened is, you're enlightened because you're able to see your Buddha nature. So enlightened people can see the Buddha nature, whereas unenlightened people cannot. So since they can see their own Buddha nature, then they can also see others' Buddha nature. So that's how enlightened people recognize each other. They can recognize it, they can see it, that whereas we can't, ordinary people cannot. So doesn't matter how the various level of enlightenment has many levels, quite a few levels, but they all share the same common denominator. They all have this Buddha nature. They all are able to recognize this Buddha nature. Therefore, it's not something you can fake. You cannot walk around and say, I'm enlightened, and you can only fool people who are confused. But other enlightened people, you cannot fool them. Okay, so that's why it's a private club that they know each other. Okay, it's a network, if you will. It's not a club. It's a network. We know they know each other. Okay, and are they more relaxed? They tend to be more relaxed because they're not as attached as we are. For example, ordinary people are more tense because they have more anxieties, they have more worries, they are more stressed out. Okay? For example, when you worry about your car being nicked when you park out there in the streets of San Francisco. Okay? You worry about your wife yelling at you for hanging around too long at the temples, and so forth. So we have many worries because we have many from the many attachments. Whereas when you have more wisdom, enlightened people are supposed to have higher level wisdoms. Wisdoms means that you have fewer attachments. And that's a really big advantage because when you have fewer attachments, you are a lot more relaxed. You waste a lot a lot less energy. Okay, when you have attachments, you tense, so you always are constantly spending your energy to defend, to protect yourself, and to get what you want. When you're more relaxed, you are a lot more efficient. Okay, you waste a lot less energy, if you will. And therefore, the advantage is that when you need to do something, you have a lot more energy at your disposal than other people, if you will. Okay, and you see clearer. What happens? You ever watch a boxing match? The boxers are always like this, right? They protect themselves like this. This is what's required for you to protect yourself so that you don't get hurt. But this in exchange for not getting hurt. You cannot see as well. You see this? That's the difference. Your tension is right here in your arms, and you need this to protect yourself. When you relax, then you are not wasting as much energy, but actually you're faster. You're much faster because you see more and you're more relaxed. Anyway, when you go into martial arts and you see. All right. And what is this characteristics of what is enlightened people? Wisdom? I don't know. How about you getting there and you find out for yourself? It's a cool thing, I'm told. Enlightenment is something that you cannot describe. This is a trick question. I think describe it to me what it's like. I said, I don't know. I'm not enlightened. How can I describe it to you, first of all? If I were enlightened, I don't think I'd be able to describe it to you either. So how can I answer the question? I don't know how to answer the question. Is the answer. Any other questions? Well, that's a good question, though. That's why in Buddhism, when it comes to enlightenment, the expression is, see your Buddha nature, meaning you have to experience it yourself. Don't believe anyone else who tells you about enlightenment and who proclaim enlightenment and so forth, because if you're enlightened, it's nothing to talk about. Okay, nothing, no big of a deal, if you will. Before you're enlightened, say, oh wow, I want to be enlightened. After you're enlightened, say, wow, it's so boring. It's nothing special at all. So what's a big deal? I regret being enlightened. Yeah, now it's no more, life becomes so, boring. It's nothing more special. Yes, Malcolm. So this completes your circuit, the 6th way place?
Yes, Master.
Welcome. Congratulations.
All 6 temples.
All 6 temples. Yeah.
Master, when you go from which dhyana is it when your mind becomes twice as fast? Is it from 2nd to 3rd, or is it from 3rd to 4th?
Any level. As soon as you go to the next level, it's at least twice as fast. That's what's fascinating about it. When I was practicing, I was told by the Chinese that when you get to 3rd dhyana, it feels so good, and then it makes it worthwhile. But on the other hand, there's a catch. You'll be stuck there because you enjoy it too much. Okay, so I hurried to 3rd dhyana. I went to 3rd dhyana, and within a day and a half, maybe 2.5 days, I went to 4th dhyana because I don't want to be here. I don't want to be stuck. But also they said that the reason you're stuck in third dhyana is because it feels so good. There's nothing in this the sensual pleasure. None of the sensual pleasures compared to third dhyana. So that I said, I don't want to be here. Okay, and so, but I found out it's not true. Some of the Chinese teaching, maybe it's not translated properly, or for some other reasons, it's not true. The more you improve, the more fun it is. And that's one of the themes I went to Korea. They asked me, what is the things you learned all the past 25 years as a practicing Buddhist? I said, my answer is that I'm discovering recently, the past year and a half or so, in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, that life is becoming more and more wonderful because your mind is faster, you will, so you're able to process a lot more information. So you find, oh wow, I didn't realize that, this person is so interesting, so has many more layers, more aspects about this person than I realized before. And some people, for example, there's some people in our temple, especially in Korea too, and here as well, when they meditate, they jump up and down and they fidget and they move and they dance and so forth. And most people would be shocked by that. Would be scared by that. But actually, it's part of Son. It's part of Chan. The Koreans, it's just so many of them are that crazy. Okay, and so you see, and people even in Korea and here in China, they're scared. They say, well, how come these people are jumping and down? First, my people, my own nun, she would take her head and hit against the bronze statue, and would have a scar somewhere in her face, in front of her face. And so for years we've been seeing that, and I'm seeing more and more such people here now as well as in Korea, and it gives you another fascinating aspect of the Chan practice. It's not what you think, Yes, it's wonderful. So when you improve, Chan is very precise. We know where you are, okay? That which level concentration or samadhi you will, where you are. So at each level there, it has its own characteristics, has its own advantages, also has its own disadvantages. But the one major advantage that's common to everyone, to all, is that when you go to one level to the next level, as you improve the next level, your mind is at least twice as fast. So you get more things done. You can see more and you get more things done. It's a real major advantage that Chan practitioners have over the others. Okay, and particularly in our style, our emphasis is keep improving. What are you waiting for? Don't be attached to where you are. It's so much more fun. A next level up, and then next level up, and next level up. It's so much fun, so fascinating, so rewarding. You'll be healthier for sure. Okay, and how do you know you're healthier? These people who improve, they look younger. You know that? Our people, they look younger. The only one who look older is me in our temple. Okay, the rest of them, as soon as you improve. When you improve significantly, you actually look younger. For example, this lady here, okay, she looked younger. She struggled a bit when she shaved her head last year. It's a shock for most people to become a left-form person. It's a different world. And it's not the way you think from outside. Outside looks glamorous, looks like fun and so forth. Inside, in our temple, it's not very comfortable. So it's shocking. We look at how pleased he is right now. Look at this. Huh? Relaxed. and so forth. And Saojusini, she used to be so tense as well. Look how relaxed she is. Huh? Only Master Z is tense. Too much of a burden to shoulder, if you will. Okay, someone has to be tense. Yes. 2.
Master, did you say that there were 3 fourth stage aha? 3 people improved to first stage while you were in Korea? They're all in Korea?
I'm sorry?
Were the 3 people who got to first stage aha, they were in Korea with you?
1 is in Korea and 2 is here in the States.
Okay, cool.
Okay, any other questions? If not, let's go to lunch. We have work to do. Thank you all for coming. See you next time.